extraterrestrial life, alien worlds, ESP, robots, and time travel. These movies have it all. Welcome to WatchMojo.com, and today we're counting down our picks for the top 10 science fiction movies of all time.
Let's rock!
This is the final installment of a series of videos spanning the decades of sci-fi flicks from the 1950s to the 2000s. For this list, we took the top 4 entries on each of the previous decade lists and pitted them against each other to come up with our new ranking. Some of the entries here may rank higher or lower than they did on their respective decade lists, because there are entirely different criteria to consider when making an all-time list.
That's impossible!
A movie may have stood out when compared to only other sci-fi movies of its decade, but when considered within the entire history of the sci-fi genre, they did not have as much impact. Number 10, The War of the Worlds.
Super science, menacing all mankind and every creature on Earth, comes the War of the Worlds.
15 years after Orson Welles' all-too-convincing radio broadcast, H.G. Wells' The War of the Worlds was adapted to the screen through the skillful direction of Byron Haskin.
Get into cover!
The Martians in this version are among the most distinctive of the time,
Do you think they come from Mars?
oozing with a colorful flair. The film not only looks great, but sounds fantastic too, summing up the majesty of 50s sci-fi with a single laser zap. This is arguably the definitive picture about aliens attacking man, further popularizing the formula and archetypes we've all come to know and rip off. Number 9, Planet of the Apes. A topless Charlton Heston lands on a planet where apes reign supreme. Just saying that synopsis will make anyone feel silly.
Take your stinking paws off me, you damn dirty ape!
As silly as the premise might sound though, Planet of the Apes never settled for being another B movie.
Tell us, why are all apes created equal?
Some apes, it seems, are more equal than others.
Michael Wilson of Lawrence of Arabia and Rod Serling of The Twilight Zone saw potential for a thought-provoking story about slavery, ignorance, and government.
To suggest that we can learn anything about the simian nature from a study of man is sheer nonsense.
Director Franklin J. Schaffner flawlessly brought their vision to life through revolutionary visuals, most notably taking home an honorary Oscar for makeup.
That the ape evolved from a lower order primate, possibly man.
Oh, and then there's that ending, which we won't dare spoil.
Finally, really did it. You maniac!
Number 8, Children of Men.
Whatever happens, whatever they say, you keep her close.
In 2027, all women have become infertile.
Throughout his life, Diego Ricardo was a tragic reminder of the 18 years of infertility that humanity has endured.
Humankind's only hope lies with one young girl and her miracle baby.
You sure this is normal?
Of all the films that have presented visions of the future, Children of Men might be the most grounded in plausibility. This future isn't overrun with flying cars, aliens, and robots. Rather, it feels like our own world, diminished by years of terrorism, bigotry, and disease. Director Alfonso Cuarón puts us right in the middle of the chaos, making us believe that this piece of science fiction could become a reality. Number 7, The Matrix.
What is the Matrix?
Mixing together elements of everything from The Twilight Zone to The Terminator, The Matrix took audiences by storm with its ingenious ideas,
Never send a human to do a machine's job.
philosophies,
Have you ever had a dream, Neo, that you were so sure was real?
and style. Iconic for bringing bullet-time special effects to the mainstream, it's hard to think of another film from this decade that's had a greater impact on how action movies are shot and choreographed. Seriously, way too many copycats have ripped off and satirized this flick since its release. Now, well, you can't fault a movie for being so awesome that it inspires countless wannabes.
Unfortunately, no one can be told what the Matrix is.
Number 6. The Day the Earth Stood Still.
Gott Baringa.
Most space invader movies from this period put an emphasis on the destructive nature of aliens. In this Robert Wise classic, however, aliens aren't humanity's inevitable doom, but a voice of reason.
We have come to visit you in peace and with goodwill.
The black and white movie makes intelligent commentary on mankind's greatest flaws that have led to war and prejudice.
I am fearful when I see people substituting fear for reason.
In doing so, The Day the Earth Stood Still proved that science fiction could be more than just a campy good time at the movies.
Everybody agrees there is grave danger. The question remains, what can we do to protect ourselves?
The genre could also be used as a vessel to tell meaningful stories about society.
Your choice is simple. Join us and live in peace, or pursue your present course and face obliteration.
Number 5. Jurassic Park. Has there ever been a creature feature that kicked more ass than Jurassic Park?
It's a dinosaur.
Being one of the first, if not the first, major motion picture to utilize photorealistic CG creatures, you'd expect it to look cheesy by today's standards.
Boy, do I hate being right all the time.
Surprisingly though, the CGI and animatronic dinosaurs hold up remarkably, even blowing most modern effects away. Convincing visuals, along with unforgettable scares and likable characters, made this a blockbuster for the ages. It's no surprise Jurassic Park trampled its way to the top of the box office charts and is still Steven Spielberg's biggest film to date. Number 4. Aliens.
Hey Vasquez, have you ever been mistaken for a man?
No. Have you?
The S at the end of its title is the first indication to how much grander Aliens is compared to Alien.
God damn it, that's not all!
Where Ridley Scott's original was a confined monster movie, James Cameron's follow-up is an all-out war between an army of aliens and an unlikely band of heroes.
Hey Ripley, don't worry. Me and my squad of ultimate badasses will protect you.
The MVP of the bunch remains Sigourney Weaver's Ellen Ripley, cinema's definitive action heroine. What a kick-ass and, in a strange way, liberating film.
Can I dream?
Yes, honey. I think we both can.
Let's just pretend the other sequels never happened and Ripley went out on a high note.
Get away from her, you bitch!
Number 3. Terminator 2: Judgment Day.
Okay, time out. Stop the bike. Time out. Come on, stop the bike.
Now, here's a contender not only for the best science fiction film of all time, but also the single greatest action film and sequel that most improved upon the original.
Come with me if you want to live.
And that's saying a lot, considering how strong the original Terminator was.
Not a man. Machine. Terminator.
But everything's taken to unthinkable new levels here.
Hasta la vista, baby.
The revolutionary visuals, heartfelt performances, heart-pounding pacing, faultless character interactions, they all amount to the perfect summer entertainment.
I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle.
Most impressive of all, Terminator 2 is one of the few movies that will have you cheering one second, then have you getting all choked up the next.
I know now why you cry. But it's something I can never do.
Number 2. 2001: A Space Odyssey. Directed by Stanley Kubrick, this masterpiece took a huge step forward for science fiction filmmaking. which is appropriate since the story is about evolution. "2001 takes us on an astounding leap through time, from primitive mankind discovering their first tool to future mankind developing their most advanced tool.
I'm sorry, Dave. I'm afraid I can't do that.
Like all great sci-fi films, A Space Odyssey offers so many fascinating ideas that a brief review like this just can't do it justice.
I'm sorry, Dave. I don't have enough information.
All that can be said in a nutshell is that it's the closest any films come to depicting sheer visual poetry. Before we take off to our top sci-fi movie of all time, here are some honorable mentions.
E.T. Phone Home? E.T. Phone Home.
All right, George, now you've had your little joke. Suppose you tell us what this contraption's really for.
I've already told you, Doctor. The larger model can be used to carry a passenger on a journey through time. Not through space, mind you, but through time.
Monsieur Neri, what do you want?
I just want to know that it's really happening.
Number 1. Star Wars Episode 5, The Empire Strikes Back.
Ready, are you? What knows you ready?
Star Wars became the highest-grossing movie of its time and won 6 Oscars.
The Force is strong with him.
How do you top something that's earned more universal success than any other film in existence?
I won't fail you. I'm not afraid.
You make The Empire Strikes Back. That's how. Often considered the trilogy's best entry, Empire Strikes Back gets it just right by delving deeper into Lucas's boundless universe, pairing different characters together, changing the entire game in the film's final act, and not wrapping things up with the happiest ending. In short, it's the textbook example of how to do a sequel, and how to get people salivating for the next installment.
Join me, and together we can rule the galaxy as father and son.
Do you agree with our list?
God damn you all to hell!
What's your favorite sci-fi movie? For more entertaining top 10s published every day, be sure to subscribe to WatchMojo.com.
That's it, man. Game over, man. It's game over.